So the next step is I want to check my hole diameters. I want to change the diameters of my pads. I want to change their shapes. So let's say I want to change the diameter of this pad. So it's already round. The shape is already round. That's what I want, and I want it to be at least 3 millimeters big, so that it's easier to solder later on. So if I hit enter, you'll see that this pad becomes bigger, right? But it's too big now. If I make this bigger now, it'll intersect with each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all pads, just going to similar objects. I want the shape to be the same for all of them, and I want them to be round. If I hit find and close this window, you'll see that all of the pads are highlighted now. So now I'll make all of them round, so they're all round already. I knew that. So it doesn't matter which one I change, because it will change both of them at the same time. So if I make this 3 mm and I hit enter, all of them are changed. But now notice these pads should not be intersecting, so I have to make them smaller. There's no other way of going around it. So I want to make this, let's say 2 mm. Yeah, both of them. So I hit, so selecting multiple pads, another way is hit control and click. So keep pressing control and then click the objects that you want to select at the same time. So I will hit control and select both of them. So I go back to width and height. It doesn't matter which one you change. And yeah, so yeah, this seems fine. I feel like if we can add more clearance, there is enough clearance, we can make this bigger. But for now, let's keep it at 2 mm. So this one is big enough. It's okay if it intersects with the board outline. They shouldn't intersect with neighboring traces. So for example, it shouldn't intersect, this pad is like intersecting with this trace, so that's a short circuit. I don't want that. Alright, and in this case, let's say this pad started intersecting here, so that's bad. And then we saw earlier that if 2 pads start intersecting, that's also another electrical connection that's undesirable for me in this circuit. Alright, so far so good. Okay, now I want to make this pad, let's say this is rectangular already. I want to make it wider. In this case, it's the height actually. So let's say I want to make it 3 mm instead of 2. So notice now the width changes this way. And I want to shorten the height or the width. I want to make this 4 mm. So yeah, now my pad is bigger. I know that one of them is VCC, so I'll sort of code them by changing the shape. So I know that VCC comes from the LED from the resistor. So VCC comes from the resistor side. So I want to make this pad, I want to remain this VCC. Also, if hovering over it, you'll know which one is VCC, which one is ground. So I want to change this pad to a round pad, and 3 mm is fine for me. So now you can see that this also sort of codes it when I look at the PCB, that which one is VCC, which one is ground. So this also helps me out later on. Alright, now I want to change the hole diameters. I know that this hole diameter is too big for the LEDs that I have. I think 0.8 was sufficient. 0.8 mm is sufficient for me, and I can just do that. Same case for the resistor. I can just select both of them at the same time, make it 0.8. And then for this one, it's too big actually. 1 mm should be enough for me. So yeah, I think that should be enough.